part 2 because I hit the stop instead of the pause. So I did part 1 and part 2. But I just got the green light, construction area. And we're now going to be coming on the descent down into Bear Lake. Got 22 miles though, so it's been 34 years since I've been through here, and it's only been one time. That one time with Tammy coming through. It's been the only time that I've ever been through this way. And I really enjoyed it. I kind of turned it on before I started the canyon. I wish I would have got it while I was going by that university because it's real pretty. It got some big giant glass windows, Vandal Stream, brick in them windows. They would have like a heyday. But yeah, it's pretty out here. Compare it to Colorado, but it kind of like Colorado, so not really much difference to me anyways. Same old. So I prefer everybody stay in Utah. Move to Utah, stay in Utah than Colorado, and bring their liberal shit with them there. But in trucking, kind of, was I like 10, 11? My brothers were all into trucking, wanting to go trucking, especially Brian. My dad took us to these truck dealerships, and I got posters, really cool posters and pamphlets on brand new trucks and stuff, and it was right when Smokey and the Bandit came out, and so we went and watched that, and so they were all into that. Me, I was going to be a preacher man. That's what I was going to be. And then I ended up being the first in the family to do trucking. Ryan's out trucking. He's doing Walmart trucking stuff. But what happened with me is I was headed to Bob Jones University, Bible College. Just got out of the Marine Corps not too long. And when I was headed down there, I had a motorcycle that I was going to run up to Colorado Springs to see Brent. He was stationed at Fort Carson. So I went up there, got his pickup truck, put the motorcycle in the back, but on my way up there, the first day going, I forgot I had put the motorcycle in reserve and passed up the gas station, next gas station like 40 miles away, and I didn't even think about it. Like 7 miles into it, 7 miles into the journey, I ran out of gas. So I threw all my shit in the ditch and threw my shit into the ditch and started pushing my motorcycle. And this bedbug hauler, he come down and he lowered his ramp and we rolled that motorcycle up onto it. And I'd already left my stuff on the side of the road. So he goes, well, too bad you don't have your stuff, because I'm headed up through Colorado Springs. I could have ran you all the way through there, which it was a bummer. But I rode with him and in the truck. I was like, man, this is pretty cool. And he told me about it and stuff like that. And I'm like, shit, that's kind of thing I want to do. Hit the road and all that stuff. Not really a bedbug hauler. But bedbug haulers are moving companies where they move stuff. We call them bedbug haulers out here. And that kind of stuff. There it goes. Bear Lake. Look at that pretty thing. Yes, sir. But yeah, I remember that. And then I was like, look at the sky, honey. And it was probably about right here. She looked down. I guess she didn't see the hills on the other side or something. But I just remember It might have been further on, but I just remember she couldn't tell it was a lake at first. I think she wasn't really paying attention, and all of a sudden she's like, "Oh yeah!" I was gonna say, kick in, Jake brake. We're going down to 8% grade. Goodness gracious, I got a load of aluminum on, and you don't want to sit there and stop. That's what I don't like about this International. It's very slow to respond coming down these hills, like the Kenworth and the Volvos, especially the Volvos. I mean, they just like overdo it. These Internationals just like, maybe I'll start working, or maybe not, or maybe, so, like, don't need to be running hard on my brakes. Shit, there goes a copper popper. I don't even know what the speed limit is. I'll find out if I was speeding. Diesel cop, DOT. But yeah, it's a pretty little spot. But we stopped along the lake, played around in it and all that kind of stuff. And now I done forgot what I was talking about. Oh, getting into the trucking thing. But then I went back up to my brother's up in Puyallup, Washington. Worked with him doing landscape and stuff. I lived in the rafters of his shop garage thing that he was renting, basically renting for a little bit. And then I don't know if that was a time frame. I know it was February of 1988. I decided I'd go to International Institute of Transportation Resources up there in Seattle. So I got a loan, student loan thing. Lived in a weekly hotel room and went to the school thing. They gave me a lot of money for it that were spending money. So I rented the weekly room thing for the school and then spent the rest of it. I mean, I got thousands of dollars. Spent it at the bar across the street from the hotel. And like one night alone, I spent like $600. Freaking partying up. Picked up a couple girls with one of the guys I was going to school with. Went to the hotel room and stuff. And it was so that was where I started my trucking. Then I was going to go Southwestern Motor Freight. This old fart, he was doing Seattle to Toronto, dedicated run. And it's actually, he'd go down to like San Diego, California, LA, somewhere, pick up shrimp and all that into Toronto, then go back up to Seattle, that kind of stuff. And then what happened is, when it was time to go out, he was sitting there bossing all kinds of shit. They ain't wearing no shoes in the cab. You put them underneath there. There ain't no stinky shit go in my truck. This and that and the other. And you just remember who the fuck you are. I'm here to train you, and you ain't basically nothing but a piece of shit. And I was like, you know what? I just got a Marine Corps. I don't need none of that freaking hogwash bullshit. And so that hogwash shit. So I went with Swift, and then it was like Bud Day. That was the thing that popped first right in my mind, was Bud Day. But he is an old retired Navy guy. He liked his hookers, and he liked his freaking drink and stuff. So, I wasn't into hookers, but we got along really good because he was Navy, hardcore. I just got out of the Marines. So we got that first month that I was on the truck with him, we got the top 14 miles for Swift that period of time. But he was pretty crazy. Like, if I had to piss, we had a old tin can coffee can. That's what we pissed in. It had the plastic lid, and you put the plastic lid on top of it, so you piss in it and all that. We were in Florida, because that was our very first run out of there. Was Miami International Airport. That's where we were headed to, out of SeaTac Airport. And so we're down in Florida, and I'm sitting there holding myself against the wall, facing forward, pissing in the can, and he slaps that freaking curtain open. He's like, "Hey, check out these girls." And it's like a freaking convertible full of girls. And I was like, shit. I'm sitting there with my thing hanging out, pissing in the can, and he's sitting there telling me to check out these girls. And kind of not really embarrassing moment,
After half a mile, turn right.
but it was kind of awkward. So, and then he wouldn't stop for anything. When we were driving, we didn't stop to switch. We cooked in the truck. We went to the bathroom, except for the number 2 in the truck. And then when we switched out, what had happened is he would lean back, and I'd slide in front of him and grab the steering wheel, and we'd switch on the roll, and vice versa. We wouldn't even stop to switch drivers. And all. But yeah, that was fun times. But yeah, the thing that I was laughing about though was we were going across 90, going across the pass there, and that was my very first day before he even introduced me to Ken. And he was driving in that part of it because he wanted to get over the hard hills and then have me take over. And so I told him, well, I gotta piss, man. And he's like, just running board. I was like, what? Yeah, I ain't stopping. So then, so I actually standing on the running board while he's climbing that little hill, and I'm pissing off the running board. It was kind of funny. So, and then when I got done, he just started laughing at me. He goes, I wasn't fucking serious, man. There's a freaking coffee can there. That's what you're supposed to piss in. I was like, oh shit, I could have fell off. And he was just like, well, I was hoping you would. But yeah, he was kind of a funny feller. But when we had a little extra time, he would get a hotel room, and we would, he'd have all these freaking hookers hanging out in there. Be drinking all this beer and stuff, and all these hookers would be just sitting by us, hanging out and stuff. Never did anything with them. They just kind of like took a break from their hookering and just hanging out. Partying basically is all it was. Just partied together and get back in the truck and haul again. I don't remember if he ever slept with any of them. I was I was religious at that time, so I didn't believe in sex outside of marriage. So, but I did hang out with the hookers, and I did drink because I did like to have some drink. So I'd repent of it later. But the old Bud Day. I learned a lot. That's where I learned a lot of my trucking. Some of it was kind of bogus. I learned some of it years later on, like, downshifting on hills, because he would have you slow way, way down, and then as it's gaining momentum, downshift or whatever, so you're like, and then I learned later on, you use your left foot, hold the truck back while you're shifting, and then, because you got to run your RPMs up to get it into gear when you're downshifting. So you have to sit there and run it up about 400 RPM to shift it down into the next gear. But I learned you hold your brake, and then you can just easily do it without doing all that racing motor, or hurrying up and hoping you don't miss the gear type of stuff. But I remember he wanted to take a break the one time, and even though we don't use the stop, there was one time he wanted me to stop. And so I was like, okay. So I went to go stop, and I stopped on the incline instead of the downcline. And he just cussed me out and said, you don't stop going up a downhill, because then I have to do all the work to get going again. He's like, you stop going down the hill, not up the hill, and I always practice that ever since learning it from him. This is all new stuff. It was all like shoreline when me and Tammy were here. These places weren't here, because I remember there was a big pull off that we can pull off. I don't remember all this houses and stuff here. That looks like all new. I have to have Tammy watch this thing and tell me what she thinks, but I don't remember this stuff out here. I think it was like just a big shoreline, nothing here. It was just like a rinky-dink unknown place for a while. So I don't know when they put all this stuff in, but surprised me. But yeah, so I've always had that inclination of watching where I stop, so I don't stop going uphill. I mean, that's like about 40 years, almost 40 years later, and I still, a bunch of stuff that I learned from him, I still have in my mentality, because I don't like stopping on kind of an incline of anything, and I always see drivers do it, and I'm just like looking at them like, oh my goodness, no day would have a field day on your ass. So, and then keeping your foot into it. We never liked to stop. So that, and then when I got solo, I was running coast to coast, dedicated run, Woodland, California, Fairbanks, New York, Cardis, New York, Bessemer, Alabama, or Sauk Village, Illinois. So it was like hammer down, no break, no stop. I mean, I burned myself down, just hauling ass, doing double logs, and when I wasn't cutting myself short on sleep, I was driving. Those were the days, man. Cab over, beat you to death, all that kind of stuff. Dad would laugh at me because get a hotel room, and then I go in the truck, sleep in the truck. I'm like, that's where I sleep good. Just have that thing of humming, hum you to sleep good. So I go in the hotel room, get a shower, watch the TV, lay on the bed there to watch TV for a few, and then when it's bedtime, I go and jump out in that jump in the truck, go to bed. Here we go. But yeah, I don't remember them places back there. They could have been. I know this walking path wasn't there. But it's this far end up here is where we parked. I'm not sure which part of it, because I mean, here's the parking area right here. We pulled into one of these where my semi-truck pulled off to the side and parked. And this might have been the very spot right here. And then we just kind of like walk out there. Seems to me like we were a little further south, but this might have been it. Probably that one there. This is probably like the first chance we got to find a white spot. Spend some time here. But yeah, that's what the one thing I didn't like was I always had to keep my foot in it. And then I always kind of like get annoyed, which is none of my business, but I get annoyed at all these truck stop hoppers back then that had pinball machines and Galaga and that kind of stuff, and they would like haul ass, get to the truck stop, then haul ass, get to the next one. So I'd be just like chugging along, get passed by someone doing 75, 80 miles an hour later, same truck fly right by me. Hour later, same truck fly right by me. I just keep seeing all the same trucks over and over passing me. They'd stop, hit the road, stop, hit the road. So I mean, pretty much I make the same time as them, because I just keep my foot in it, never stop. Have snacks right there beside me on the doghouse. There's like a little cover for the motor on the cab over, because you didn't have a floorboard there that had a doghouse that came up that was about kind of like your chest high, right beside you, and you put your arm there like a armrest, and then you just had that little compartment which was really narrow for your legs. Gas pedal, brake, clutch, and then the one cab over I had, a Jake brake, was actually a foot pedal down there, right underneath the clutch that you had to use for the Jake. And yep. Well, I'm gonna stop this thing because I was just gonna chatterbox in the way. Yeah, right here. This is the spot right here. This wide spot area right here. Because I didn't want to park around where all the people like to park and stuff like that. Because I didn't want to take up space, being the gentleman that I am. And so I came down to the south side of the lake and was like pulled over to the side and parked there. And that's what we did. Spent some time there and boogied on. I don't even know where we were headed or anything. I was with that Bluebird Martin Transport. Those were good times with my bride. But I'm going to let everyone go and say boogity boogity. Boogity boogity.